Okay, I'm here.
Oh shoot, man, I was on freaking mute.
I was just sitting here. I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was just
I've
gonna
been
let
being terrible. I've been terrible with that lately.
you turn it into me and Black Fight fan.
Yeah. Man, salute to Jimmy Bernard and salute to Amanon.
What up, Jimmy Bernard? What up, Bernard?
And yeah, man. So say what up to the people to stay ready, man.
I just
Let
did. Hey,
uh,
what's up with it, family? How y'all doing, man? It's your boy Stay Ready Mac, and we in this thing, man. Another great show for y'all today. Y'all stay tuned. It's gonna be a good one. Y'all ain't gotta fight in the chat today. Y'all ain't gotta pick out who winning it. Y'all just gonna enjoy the show. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Let's go, bub.
let's Derek Gaines, man. Tell the people what's up, man. I know you gotta say grace over Sunday dinner and stuff like that.
Man, they gave me a reprieve, man. They know I enjoy doing this. I appreciate everybody showing up. Please support my brother in his channel. Let's grow his channel. Hit the like button. Please subscribe and share, and donate if the Lord's willing. I appreciate y'all showing up, and this is gonna be a good one because I've read a lot of comments, and I think I got some good ones under my belt.
Not gonna lie, this was a I. It's crazy as it sounds. This was a hard one for me,
Hmm.
but I made something shake.
Well, I had stopped reading them because I had some situations that happened around um, Heroes Reborn, and I stopped reading them from that. I think the last one I brought was not recently. I think the last one I brought was Spawn 100.
Mm,
Um,
that was a good one.
but
That was a good one, man.
I love comics. I loved them since I was a kid with the comic strips, and go get a Sunday's paper so I can read Spider Man in the comics. That and then when I was able to go buy them, they were like $1 back then.
Yeah,
So
imagine
I,
that.
yeah, imagine that. Now they what, $5, $6?
More than that. Shoot, you paying
I
like
guess
you paying like it depends. It
it
depends.
depends on what it is. You
Yeah.
know, issues when characters die. I had when Colossus sacrificed himself to stop the legacy virus. I had when Xavier got killed. Um,
Yeah, I
the
remember
first
that.
time, I think the first time. Um, and then characters' first appearance. Them, 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 the ones I think are valuable. And the 25th edition, the 50th edition, the 100th edition are always big for collectors and everything. So I I know Stay Ready Mac. I got it right. I don't know what was I calling him? Ready Mac? Mac Ready?
Ready,
Yeah,
Mac. Yeah,
Ready Mac. It did sound like a
it
meme.
sound like it sound
Sound
like
like some new macaroni and cheese that they.
yeah.
I gotta say the whole name like a tribe called Quest. Gotta say the whole name.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Shoot.
or just call me Mac, man. Just call me Mac.
I want to say salute to my good friend, brother Kofa,
Yes,
rhymes with
sir.
sofa,
Salute.
KO.
And salute to Alexander X, man. Appreciate
That's my brother.
I mean, let's get into these picks. Are you do you still do you still need to go last, or what you
Let's
need?
let's just in case. Let's
Think you cutting out. Think you cutting out, bro.
Yeah.
But Mac, let's start with you, man. Let's start.
Uh, that's perfectly fine, man. Go ahead and put it up. Put it up. So
Which one do you want me to?
number 5. Oh, I thought you had my list. Okay.
Now, I
So
got your list,
uh,
but I didn't know if it was in that order because I didn't.
so yeah, Book of Korvac.
Okay, book of court.
Man, y'all. So I know this one's probably gonna be more of a recency bias because this is actually the last comic book story that I read and completed. And this came out in 2020, actually. Um, but I just recently read it. I didn't read it when it first came out because I done started getting to where I hate having to wait on them to keep dropping books and series or and then when they continue on. But the very first one came out in 2020. They just finished it this year. Um it's actually 3 books. One is this is really should be called the saga of the Book of Korvac. It wasn't Iron Man Book of Korvac until Book of Korvac 3. And then it turned into the uh what is it? Iron Man, the Galactic Iron Man. I know y'all remember that.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, this is where this storyline here is where Iron Man gets the power cosmic from Galactus, and he actually becomes a god. Like literally, he becomes a god. But in the beginning of the story, he wasn't. He was trying to fix his public image. He was dating Hellcat. I think that was what was her name? Yeah, it was Hellcat. He was dating Hellcat, and she was helping him get his public image back in order. This started out as an Avengers story. Um, Tony's working on new suits. Um, he was actually having issues with the Avengers in this comic, but they were still working on work. They was trying to fight Korvac. Korvac had just resurfaced. This is not the first time they fought Korvac either, but he's resurfaced. He's gotten the power from an alien group. What's their name? The start with a B. Can't think of their name off the top of my head right now. Once it hit me, I'll say it, but it starts with a B. He had got power from them, and he had got power to where he could actually change reality. Um, Korvac was he wanted to mold Earth to be what he wanted it to be, and he had beat the Avengers. He was beating everybody. The villains, like literal villains, had started working with the Avengers to beat Korvac. Like the storyline is so like it has got real so dope that you even have villains that was actually helping the Avengers try to defeat Korvac, but they couldn't do it. And in book 2, Iron Man ended up getting knocked off into space. And he's floating into space, just literally just floating out into space and came across Galactus. Well, no, did he come across Galactus? It was either Galactus or the Living Tribunal. It was either one or the other. I know he came across both of them actually, but Galactus ended up giving him the power cosmic. He talked to he started messing around, playing with his powers on another planet, learning things that he could do, and then he went first. He went to the alien planet that gave Korvac the power, and he destroyed them. He destroyed their star, and they only had a few minutes to get off the planet, or they were going to be destroyed. I think only a couple of them got off. with a couple of their technology to kind of explain their history and things, and then he went after Korvac. He was so powerful, he was beating up Korvac, and then that's when the Living Tribunal, Death, uh, um, um, oh, oh, I can't even think of his name, but it was a whole bunch of the actual main gods that run all the universes came to stop them from fighting, and they took Korvac on, but they told Iron Man that we're watching you. Now, the continuation of this is when you go into the Iron Man, the Iron Galactic, and this is the next comics after the Korvac saga, and Iron Man is coming back to Earth, and he wants to help Earth, and he decides to make everybody on the planet as smart as him, and things start going awry. Now, I'm gonna stop right there because that's a whole nother comic that you guys would have to get into, and it's a dope comic. It's a dope storyline, and it's a continuation of that going on now. So right now, I think Marvel is going into the cosmic world because they got the Cosmic Ghost Rider, they got the Galactic, um, the Cosmic Iron Man. They even got the Cosmic Thor, where Galactic landed on the planet of Thor, and they got to fight the Black Winter. I know you've read this storyline, right?
Yep.
So yeah, all these new cosmic stories. Everybody's doing the cosmic stories now for Marvel. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing where they go because I love the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Only reason this is not on my list was because they're not through with that comic yet. That's probably one of my favorite stories, but they're not done with that saga yet. So once they're done with that saga and we do this again, you might see it on my list in the future.
Okay. Good pick. Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah.
Um, salute to Eric Jordan.
Let's go, bub.
Salute to D Man.
Let's go, bub.
Salute to Cool Man
Let's go, bub.
and JG, my brother JG.
Let's go, bub.
Yes, sir. Um, Let me go to my list because I don't know. Like I said, my brother Gaines over there blessing the dinner. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't wanna. All right. So my number five is Image Comics Invincible. Um Teenage kid that's part of the Viltrumite race. His dad is a superhero, and basically, normally a Viltrumite develops their powers around like 17, 18 years old. And, that's basically how old Mark Grayson is. And basically, he's looking forward to the idea of him having his powers. But the thing is, most Viltrumites would have had their powers by now. Marcus had Viltrumite, so his powers kind of develop a little late. And once he finds out that he has powers, him and his dad starts treating him different. He kind of makes him go from a boy to a man, because he lets him know about the whole race. And I mean, I don't want to go because this is just the first volume. He doesn't tell him what he's really there for, but his dad is part of something like the Justice League. It's called the Guardians of the Globe. And basically, they do basically what the Justice League does. And they fight bad guys, evil threats. And his dad was never really, he was in the house and he was there, but you know how certain parents could be there, but they not really there. He really didn't start being in Mark's face really until he started developing the powers. His dad's name is Nolan Grayson. Um, he's Omni Man, and Mark basically deals with regular things that a teenager deals with. in America. He's got a girl that he's interested in. He's getting ready to go to college and things like that. And, you know, he's kind of has to balance out his life, his regular, ordinary day life, with the fact that now he's a superhero. You know, his dad's really trying to push him so that he could be the best he could be. He thinks he's just pushing him because he's one of those guys that's a real elite superhero. But really, he doesn't know that his dad ultimately has a plan. Now, I'm pretty sure all of you guys watch the TV show. This is one of my favorite TV shows on now. You got Amazon Prime. You could bench watch the first and the second season. I don't know why they waiting for the third season when it took us 80 years to get. That's my only complaint with them. I love the show, but let's keep bringing this thing out. We already had to wait like 2 years to get the second season. So it's a great story. At the end of the book, what ends up happening is, because see, I could go into bits and pieces here and there, but one of the main parts that'll probably get you reading the comic is, remember how I told you Nolan, Omni Man, Mark's dad, Invincible's dad, is part of a group called Guardians of the Globe. Well, he actually kills them towards the end of this book, revealing that he's not so much of a stand-up guy as we thought he was. So, yeah, this is a must read. This is Image Comics. I strongly recommend that you get all the volumes. It's excuse me, it's a really good book. And if you don't really read comics and things like that, I think the comics is a little bit better. You could definitely go on bench watch if you got Amazon Prime Invincible, the series. So that's all I really got on this one. I'm gonna move forward and let my brother Derek Gaines cook on his pick.
I really like Invincible. I didn't read the comic, but I really like Invincible. And they're waiting too long to come out with the next season. That's for sure. That and Vox Machina. Oh my goodness. Um, let's go with Ram the Space Knight.
You've been talking about this one for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna have to explain to us because I never even looked. And this actually a comic that Act don't know.
And Mac don't know.
I don't know. I heard of him, but I
Mm.
told Mac, I never knew who Rom was. So I might do some further research once
Well,
once, once we are done.
Same.
it was
It's tingling.
it was something about this comic that drew me in. Um, the storyline was great. We always talk about the storyline. Rom gave up his world was being attacked by an evil alien race called the Deer race, and he became a space knight by giving up his humanity. So he's a cyborg, and he comes to Earth. He tracks the Deer works to Earth, and everybody's against him because they don't know what he's about. And but he goes along finding the, you could say it was the one of the first secret invasions because Earth was being invaded, and he came to stop it. The thing is with the deer rapes, they were shape changers. And then later on in the storyline, they were able to steal your memories by basically sucking you dry like a vampire. Um, this particular um, this particular issue was the first appearance of Hybrid. Hybrid a was a child of a Deerworth who fell in love with a human, and they had a son, but he was born a omega level mutant. But what happened was the deer rapes got to him first and turned him to evil. So he deleted his father. He turned his mother uh, uh, old in a matter of seconds. And then Xavier, who was on Cerebro, found a new mutant. So he sent the X-Men to see who the new mutant was. And but at the same time, Rom got a hint of where the hybrid was. And so they met up at the farm and they started battling. Wolverine could not cut his armor, but he still inflicted pain. Rogue wasn't part of the X-Men yet. She was still running with Mystique's crew. The boy that he has is the human form of hybrid. They don't know that. So Storm is there. She's fighting the weather that hybrid had caused a blizzard. Jean Grey is there. She's trying to hold everybody together. And hybrid was able to separate each and every X-Man, and only one who could tell something was wrong was Wolverine, but he didn't know who was bad and who was evil. I mean, who was good. He just smelled it coming from their general direction. So he thought that Rom was a evil guy, evil robot here to conquer the world. But they ended up towards the end of this comic. They ended up ganging up on Hybrid, and Kitty Pryde, Rum's weapon is synced to him. He can only fire his weapon, but Kitty Pryde was able to do it. So she fired his weapon, and they both, Rum and Hybrid, got sent to purgatory, so to speak. This comic came out in 1981. Is issue 15, and this is a Frank Miller cover. So if you like the early years of the X-Men, where they had Colossus, Storm, Jean Grey, Wolverine, Cyclops, and the first appearance of Hybrid. Hybrid came back later in later issues of the X-Men to go after Xavier. So Xavier was the only one who can sense him. And Run the Space Knight ended too soon. It was only like maybe 70 issues. I thought it was real good. I thought the storyline was real good. Um, I'm on a mission to collect all of them that I can. It's great storyline, great. The panels look good. It's just I can't believe they ended it, the storyline. I don't know why, but they ended the storyline by letting Ron become human again, and that's how they ended it. There was other space knights that joined him on Earth. One was called like Starfire or something like that. She can glow as bright as a star. But Rum was supposed to be the greatest of all the space knights, and it was pretty cool storyline. I hated that they ended it, but this is one of the first comics I started to buy. I remember going to the store Back in the day, we could go to the corner store and buy comics, and that's all I got to say. And I know Wolverine's claws could not cut him. It caused him pain, but it couldn't cut into him. Um, Colossus, he basically just didn't want to fight because something wasn't going on, something wasn't right, and Storm was trying to hold back the blizzard that Hybrid created. Hybrid never changed his name. He was just a hybrid of a human and a werewolf, and he was born a mutant. If he was around now, if they did him now, he would have like Franklin Richards kind of powers.
Oh,
Uh,
so they never brought back Rom. They never revamped him.
they never brought back Rom, unfortunately. Um, in the comics, they just go with the popular characters at the time. I think the last issue came out in '88 or something like that. It was a good story, man, and to see this is how I got introduced to the X-Men. Because before that, I'd never brought X-Men. I got introduced to X-Men by reading Rom the Space Knight.
Wow.
So, man,
Okay.
that's all I got on that. It was a great storyline. Too bad the toys. They had toys. They had toys. I forgot to say that they had toys. The toys didn't look nothing like the comic. I'll tell you that right now. But it wasn't the toys they had was kind of grayish silver, and he's as you can see he's kind of chrome silverish color. So yeah, yeah, it's too bad they ended that.
Sir. Reef said he used to read Rom.
One for JJ.
It's a good comic, man. It's too bad that they ended it. I thought it was a great story. I thought it was a great storyline.
Sir. And Kofa, this is basically the title is basically our top five comic book stories that we basically that's all. So it doesn't matter if it's an indie, uh it doesn't matter if it's off brand, whatever. If it's a comic, you could bring it. That's why it wasn't all Marvel for me. It was you'll see my list. It's like different.
Kofa, Kofa had mentioned. I think he mentioned he read the Age of Apocalypse storyline, which
Yeah, that
was
was cool.
the best storyline I've ever read next to Onslaught. Uh, that storyline was awesome. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
Alexander X said a couple too in the chat. He had a couple. He actually brought up one I'm not gonna bring up yet that I got on my list. And then go for
Mhm.
he put in yeah, you could have had two Walking Dead in there. You know what I mean? Shoot, there's this one called Sweet Tooth. That's an image comic that I thought was pretty good too. So
Hell, Image got a lot of great comics.
yeah,
And is Image Comics the McFarlane comic people like
I,
Spawn?
Yes,
I think yes,
it
they
is.
He used to work for Marvel.
yeah. He used to draw Spider Man. Me, he
Yep.
was one of
Yeah,
the
he did.
best. He was one of the best drawers of Spider Man.
Spider sense is tingling.
Yeah, I like Todd McFarlane. I first got introduced to him by his toys, the sports figurines he used to make or still do. I don't know if he does.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Let's go. Let's move on to our next picks. Let's move on. Matt, what you want me to pull up, brother?
Shit, Ghost Rider. You know me, it was gonna be a Ghost Rider on here. You lucky it wasn't number one. I thought about it, but it is better storylines. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I wanted to put Sin City on here so bad. I don't know if y'all. I know y'all know Sin City the movie, but Sin City is a Dark Horse comic, and I wanted to put it on my list so bad because that's actually a great comic. Like it reminds you of the old days. It's a great comic, but I ain't gonna. I had to go Ghost Rider, and this is actually one of my favorite Ghost Rider stories. It's actually Ghost Rider versus the Avengers.
Alexander X said his dad loves Ghost Rider.
One
Ghost
for
Rider's my favorite.
JJ.
We talk about this all the time in here. It is literally my favorite comic book. And one of the great things about this comic is because this is a comic after Johnny Blaze goes and takes over Hell. And it start off with Robbie Reyes going to the Avengers because he wants to get rid of the spirit of vengeance in him. And Johnny Blaze is the king of hell. Like he kicked Mephisto completely out of hell. And he's in order for Robbie Reyes to get rid of the spirit of vengeance, he has to race Johnny Blaze. And they're racing. I can't remember right off back which one won right off back, but I remember it caused a chain reaction. Is to where Ghost Rider ended up fighting. Like he ended up fighting Thor, and Thor didn't realize how strong Ghost Rider was, and he was like, "Man, how is this dude so strong and he's just bones?" And Ghost Rider was giving him everything he could. Like Ghost Rider was beating the Avengers like they were nothing. And in this storyline, like it's
Was there?
Yeah, Thor was there.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
all
coming
the
back.
all the original Avengers was there, include and it also had Robbie Reyes, and it had who else? I think Wolverine was there because Wolverine got beat, and somebody else was there. I'm missing somebody. Was it uh it was another X-Men. What was I can't even think of her name right now. The one that turned into Diamond.
Oh, you talking about what's her name? Emma Frost?
I think Emma Frost was there. I think she was. I can't remember. But I know Frank Castle was there too. Punisher was there. And it was, man, they couldn't beat Ghost Rider. Like they couldn't. And the whole time they're fighting Ghost Rider, Mephisto is on Earth. And Mephisto is turning Vegas into hell. And I know I had you make this a two-part because it goes into a Doctor Strange storyline, but it's still an Avengers story, and it's Doctor Strange Damnation, to where it's crazy how they did it because they just had that one part to where Mephisto's taking over hell, and it goes back into the Avengers challenges Ghost Rider storyline and when it goes back to that, they're in hell. I mean, they're not in hell, but Mephisto has taken over a lot of the Avengers, and it takes Robbie Reyes, and he has to go to hell to get with Johnny Blaze to come back so they can beat Mephisto in Vegas, and they have to get the Avengers back. This really should be higher on my list because it's one of my favorite stories. I don't want to tell y'all the whole synopsis of this story because I really want y'all to go read it for yourselves because it's that good, and I don't want to be a spoiler. This storyline here came out in I think it came out in 2012 or probably before, when did it come out? It came out in the 2000s. I say that, but man, this is Oh man, this is a great storyline. It's action packed all the way through. You get to see Mephisto's. You get to all the Avengers. You get to see how powerful Doctor Strange is in this because Doctor Strange actually Doctor Strange had to send Robbie Reyes to hell so he can get Johnny Blaze to actually. I think this was the storyline that actually got Ghost Rider to join the Avengers too. Though Johnny Blaze to join the Avengers. Robbie Reyes was already an Avengers member. But yeah, I think y'all would. I think as a fan, y'all would love this storyline. Yeah, this is a good one. I don't know. I know Act didn't remember this one, but I know he after we sat there and talked about it, I know he remembered it.
I'm gonna definitely try to get this too because, like I said, I like Robbie Reyes. Um,
Yeah, this is a good one, but you can't just get that one. You literally have to get the Doctor Strange Damnation because it's the continuation, but it goes back like it's how they have those sub stories that kind of they have the sub stories outside of the main story that leads off in the other comics. Like
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
should
Like
just straight away and lead to other
this
comics.
is like
This
that.
one, this one didn't. It was just a sub story of it, which it has its own story to it, but it goes back to the original story. So it was weird how they did that, but it was man, it's an amazing comic, bro. Yeah, I love that. That is one of my favorite stories. He said, "I wish I would have did Ghost Rider Volume 1." I actually have Volume 1 is not your Ghost Rider. It's not Carter Slade. Volume 1 is Johnny Blaze. I got that. I got the graphic novel of that one. You're thinking about uh the Carter Slade, but that's your Ghost Rider. But I can tell y'all kind of Ghost Rider stories. I can tell you Ghost Riders and the Guardians of the Galaxy storyline was a great storyline. I could have told you about the Ghost Rider and Punisher storyline. The Ghost Rider and Wolverine goes to hell is an amazing storyline. But this one, if I would have did like that, my whole list would have damn near been Ghost Rider. So I really had to be diverse.
Ah, he said, "Well, he
I,
ain't lying either." What's up, Reef? I see you, Reef.
Let's go, Bob.
I picked my favorite ghost story, and you know what? This is the crazy thing. I picked this one, and this is my favorite Ghost Rider story. And Robbie Reyes is in this, and Robbie Reyes is not even my favorite Ghost Rider. It's, Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch are my favorite Ghost Riders. And I know, Ack, you mentioned which Ghost Rider was that we talked about earlier? The Midnight Suns. So,
Yeah.
Danny Ketch was the Ghost Rider that started the Midnight Suns, which
Okay.
I don't understand why the video game has Robbie Reyes in it when Johnny Blaze actually came and joined later. But Danny Ketch is the one that started the Midnight Suns. But that's a whole nother topic. We can get into that another day. But I just wanted you to know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good pick. Good pick. Man, we see you out there, Reef. And they appreciate you for sliding through. You've been missing a couple of the joints, man. You got to come through, man, where you can, man. You know your stuff. You know your stuff too. Um, okay. I'm gonna go to Civil War. Now, I already liked the movie. This was uh Captain America movie that how they did it or whatever. But I remember Mac going back and telling me, yo, the comic is gonna be better. And I remember I called them once I got done reading it. He was like, isn't it so much more better than the movie? I already liked it, the movie. The movie wasn't bad, but the comic
It was
was
man.
way, way better. Way better.
Hey,
One for JJ.
I,
Word.
and I'm gonna tell you, act what's crazy is the reason I didn't pick Civil War is because I knew you was gonna pick it.
Yeah, I like this story, bro. I read it. I just recently read it again, and I got the audio book with
Yeah,
the voice actors and stuff on it. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's how much I like this story. Basically, what happens is a disaster happens, and with these lower grade tiers of superheroes, uh, Prince Namor's, I think Namorita, cousin or niece or something to Prince Namor. You know what I mean? She ends up getting exploded. A couple other lower level heroes. And they already having the idea of passing a superhero registration act. And basically, now the superheroes have to come forward with their identities and they have to be licensed and trained by the government. And Iron Man, he was on the fence with it until that disaster happened. And all the superheroes are talking about it. He really wants Spider-Man because Spider-Man, not only is he smart, but Spider-Man is really, see, y'all be thinking Spider-Man be playing, but Spider-Man is really powerful. But Spider-Man don't know how powerful he is until probably Superior Spider-Man. You know what I mean? When he trades bodies with Doc Ock. And Doc Ock, he punch off somebody's jaw. He's like, "Are you serious? Spider Man's been holding back the whole time because you know Spider Man's a good dude. You know what I mean? So he does hold back a lot, and he'll probably beat you up and then web you up and call it a day. It's few times that we see Spider Man really let loose on somebody and give it his all. But anyway, uh, basically after that happens and Tony Starks get called out by one of the mothers, that kids that died in that disaster. I believe they got killed in Stamford, Connecticut. Um, and everybody is getting at Tony. So basically, Tony ends up becoming the head of the Superhero Registration Act, and he recruits Spider Man and uh, Luke Cage, basically the new Avengers. It's not Thor dies around this time, so Thor isn't here, and I think that's another reason why I would have loved to see because that's when Ragnarok, the comic, happened. I would have loved to seen whose side Thor would have picked if he would have rolled with Captain America or if he would have rolled with Tony. Um, Another person that's not here that's a main Avenger, the Hulk isn't here. The Hulk, this is around the time Planet Hulk happens and he's shipped to another world against his own will, which was illegal as hell, but it happened. And so I would have liked to see whose side he would have picked in this. So long story short, basically Captain America of resistance, the Heroes Registration Act. So it's basically Captain America versus Iron in this whole storyline. Just like in the movie. It just went into greater depth in Civil Wars. And then one of the superheroes, Goliath, I believe, was it Mac that got killed? Foster, Bob Foster. He ends up getting
it
uh
was Goliath.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He ends up and you know he could his body long boots with real big sizes or whatever. And he ends up getting killed by a clone Thor who Spider-Man nicknames Clone Thor. And yeah, man, from there things just start getting spiraling out of control. One side takes this side, and then another side takes another side, and then some dudes after the Bob Foster thing happens and he gets killed, You know what I mean? Some people end up switching sides. Some people go from Tony Stark's side to Captain America's side and vice versa. So this is a great story. This is a really good read. If you haven't read the comic and you just want to go out and buy a comic and you want something that's going to entertain you, yeah, this is it. This is it right here. You know, definitely a good story. I'm gonna keep it real. I might have to get this box set too when I get a chance. I'm gonna have to get the whole box set
I know I got some of them, but I don't got the whole thing.
because they selling the whole box set on Amazon. They got another thing they got, Matt. They got all of the crossovers of DC and Marvel in one book.
Oh,
Oh, I gotta get that. It's $135.
One for JJ.
I'm not mad at that. I know I got the majority of the Ultimate Wars too. The death of a hero. Those are some good storylines. If y'all don't know about those either.
What's up, Tay Tay?
Hey,
Let's go, Bob.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, this is a really good. It's a really good story to read. I mean, I'll be here for days going into the breakdown. But Derek, you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's your next pick?
Give me Spine 100. Y'all can't hear that music playing in the background, can y'all?
I hope not.
I shut my door.
Nah,
Not
I
either.
don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing.
It's interesting you chose this cover. The cover I chose I had was him ripping through the pages, and you could see him coming out of it. There was I think it was like 7 variant covers of Spawn 100. This is a great read. This is a great read. Spawn, if you're not into Spawn, but you like a little macabre and you like a little horror, this is the comic to get. This Every issue, the colors pop off the page. They put time and detail into Spawn. You can just tell there was never a bad issue. You get some issues and be like, "Oh, this was okay." Every issue, whether you follow Spawn strictly storyline or you follow the detectives, whether Twitch and I forget the other guy. They had their own storyline. This comic, they were genius to create this. Spawn is this is Spawn 100. It had 2 release dates. It had one in January and one in December. I don't know why, but that they did it. This is Todd McFarlane. We discussed him earlier. He's the guy behind Spawn. They even had their own show. I think it was maybe 2 seasons on HBO. The show ended. I was hoping they'll do another season, and they really never did. Spawn is fed up. He goes into hell, the eighth level of hell. He goes there. He challenges Melboja. At this time, his ex squeeze Wanda is giving birth, and she's having trouble giving birth, it's a lot going on in the physical realm. And Spawn's he just said, I had enough. So he went into the eighth level of hell to challenge his creator, Melboja. And then Angela, she was like Spawn, but she was from heaven. The thing is, heaven had and hell had a balance, and neither one could. It was something like Constantine a little bit, but Melboja created Spawn to lead his armies, but heaven already had an army, and one of the most powerful ones was Angela. She had a brief appearance in cartoon on HBO. So they get into a battle with Melboja and Angela. They're losing the battle. Melboja is just wiping them. He's just wiping them, and he takes Melboja takes Angela's sword and throws it through her body, and she dies. And and then Spawn goes into a rage, picks up her sword, and then chops Melboja's head off. Just chopped it off, and then he screams like "ah!" like Arnold Schwarzenegger did in Predator. So he screams and let all the eighth level know that, hey, I'm the man now. But it Spawn turns down the throne. He walks away from it. He at this point he didn't want anything to do with nothing. He just wanted to be left alone, so to speak. But he had these powers that, for some reason, what I got in the stories that I read, people, he had to deal with the who was the clown, the violator. He had to deal with him. He had to deal with the child, the child. You know, he dealt with him. He dealt with Jason Wynn. So, what he did to Jason Wynn was awesome. He displayed a new power after he beat Melboja. He took Jason Wynn's skin off, but only in his mind, only in Jason's Wynn mind that he thought his Spawn had ripped his skin off. So Spawn left him like that. I mean, Spawn is cold. So the movie did not do him justice. I thought the movie was it hit on some areas as far as his creation, as far as what he did, being an ex mercenary who got set up by his former boss. Um, it just it covered that, but it didn't. It was missing something. I didn't like it. But Spawn 100. If you haven't read any issue of Spawn, if you could find Spawn 100, read it, and you won't be disappointed with none of the issues. Todd McFarlane, uh, he hit a home run when he created Spawn. It was Spawn one. It's this Spawn period. Now, Prime should do a Spawn thing, just like Invincible or the Batman show they got now, just for Amazon. It's I'm just man, I'm a big Spawn fan, and they
You ain't
they they should have did it. They should have did it, but they didn't. Respawn 100, you'll love it.
um this was a good book. I definitely gotta agree with Derek Games on this. The whole thing that leads up even after that, he ends up taking over hell, then he takes over heaven. All of this stuff that happens after is crazy. You know what I mean? So this is good. Like this I strongly recommend this.
Spider sense is tingling.
I'm saying this one I strongly recommend.
Yeah, it's a good read. I did want to mention something about the Civil War. You know that reminds me of the government wanted to sanction the heroes, And I started thinking like, yo, didn't the government also had a mutant team called X Factor? Was it X Factor or Excalibur? I think it was X Factor. Was
Who?
sanctioned by the government. I'm not real sure.
Uh, I don't think no X Factor. I got an X Factor coming over there. I think it was sanctioned by the government because it was Doctor Strange. It was
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah,
yeah uh Doctor Strange was the leader.
that must have been later.
She
And
said,
I remember
read that, y'all.
haters got no Superman. No, because he's dead.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of what he just said right there, that is actually my favorite Superman story.
Because he died.
Definitely Superman.
Because he died.
Please. Yeah,
Well,
I
what's
still
to
put that
talk
one in
about?
there. My fault. My fault. That was my favorite one.
What's to talk about? You know, when he was giving the television interview, all the other superheroes were getting mocked by Doomsday. They were like, "Yo, Superman, what are you doing here?" Like, I don't know. Let me go fight.
You just reminded me though. There's another. See, this we might have to do a part 2 to this
I'm down.
because Injustice. I, that story. Anyway, I don't want to let's
And
move.
see, I actually have a Justice League. That's my favorite. It's the I bought the graphic novel a while back, and it was when they faced Darkseid, and Darkseid literally had took over Earth. I can't remember the name of that storyline. I can't remember it because I had bought it years ago, and it ended up getting messed up in a move. So I don't have that comic, that graphic novel. When I figure it out, they can be on my 6 to 10. We can do a 6 to 10 because if that's the case, Sin City is gonna be on that one.
And,
Hmm.
and Death of Superman gonna be on there, Tay Tay. Don't worry.
We do a 6 to 10.
And
I
I'm
got
not
the
gonna.
onslaught and
Yeah,
Age of Apocalypse.
and I guarantee you, Tay Tay, I love you, but Superman won't be on mine.
Now Superman, I only read one Superman comic, and that was the one he died.
That's
Yep.
that's the death.
That's to me,
'Cause
that's really my favorite one. I'm not, and it's not just because I'm more of a Batman guy. I'm just being honest. That actually was a good story. It was a good story. I see why it sold how it sold, and that's one of the best.
it sold out.
That's one of the best ever selling comics. That brought Superman back from what they told me from the dead because the sales was down. But when they did that, it changed the game. So yeah, man. Mac, let's go to your next one, bro.
And you know where you gotta go. The Dark Phoenix Saga.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm gonna
Wait.
tell y'all how good this comic is. It should be number one. It really should. But
You see
if
what
we was in
you
if we was in a perfect world, this would be number one. But because y'all wanted my opinion, I got it number 3 on my list just because there's 2 other comics on the list that I like better. What you mean bring back the love? I love you. I don't love Superman. That's 2 different things. That's 2 different things, 2 different people, 2 different worlds, baby. 2 different worlds. Superman is not in my stratosphere at all. Nowhere close.
see
But
Copa said, yeah, that one right there.
you,
One for JJ.
you know, but anyway, I'm not talking about. We're not going to talk about Superman anymore. Back to the. So just so y'all understand, this was a creation from Chris Claremont and John Byrne. This came out in 1980. This was X-Men 190. This comic was so popular in this uncanny storyline. It was also a Phoenix Force. They came out with a whole comic about the Phoenix Force itself back then. Like this comic book was so popular that they made the X-Men cartoon had a whole saga about it. They done made two X-Men movies about it, and the most recent X-Men comic. I mean, X-Men cartoon had a storyline about it. The X-Men Evolution cartoon. I know y'all remember that, but even those had even the animated series of Wolverine and X-Men, they had a Phoenix saga. Like they literally they because that comic book was so popular that they really stretched it out and utilized it in so many levels. So Marvel made so much money off of it. The Dark Phoenix Force was has the reason I put the saga on there is because we can go back to when Jean Grey first got the Phoenix. Well, the Phoenix powers before she was engulfed with the Phoenix Force was in Uncanny X-Men 101 back in 1976. But when the Phoenix Force saga started was in 1980 in X-Men 129. Then later on with the Phoenix Force, you had it where it was split between Colossus, Emma Frost, uh, Cyclops, and I'm missing somebody, but it was split between four people. Like the storyline has continued throughout the years. I think the last time they wrote a comic with the Phoenix Force was in 2006. That's the one with Cyclops had the Phoenix Force, and they had to literally get it out of him. I think it took Thor to do that. But yeah, but the original storyline has just started a chain reaction for that story, and basically it was just Jean Grey went to space. It was on a return mission to space to where they flew through uh, like a cosmic storm where she ended up getting it was radiation from a solar flare that ended up giving her the Phoenix Force, and they took her back to Earth. She ended up changing. She started killing. She killed Professor X in that storyline. Well, didn't really kill him, but y'all know what happened. She sent him to another plane, and he had to find his way back.
That's when she was on some. I am fire incarnate, and she was wilding out.
Yeah, and
Wow,
that
she was wilding. She was wilding. I ain't going for.
that's when she joined the Hellfire Club. I know you remember the Hellfire Club.
Yeah, she was the Black Queen. Remember the White
Yeah,
Queen? Yeah, yeah. And they had to sneak in there and try to save her. I remember this. Man, listen, don't get me started with
Yeah,
this.
I remember that.
He
yeah,
Sebastian
started
Shaw
with this
wanted
story.
her.
I like this
yeah.
story.
This was a hell of a storyline, man. They even in this storyline, they got the Avengers involved. This in the real Phoenix Saga, not the stuff they put on TV, but the real Phoenix Saga. It was the Avengers that got involved. Uh, and I'm talking the Dark Phoenix, not just the regular Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix. It was I know a lot of y'all probably haven't even read that storyline, but y'all have to really go read the entire storyline. I told y'all I'm not gonna get on here and tell y'all everything about these stories because we're telling you the synopsis of them so you can go read these storylines. This was an amazing. It really should be number one on my list. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, but that
One
just
of the
tells you how.
best storylines ever.
I swear to God, it is the best X. It's the best X-Men story. It is the greatest X-Men story, period. Period. Like it's no X-Men story better than that. Don't get it wrong. Age of Apocalypse is an amazing storyline. Uh,
Hmm.
but it even Sentient was a great storyline, but none of them is is killing. None of them is better than this one. With that being said, I do have another X-Men story on my list, but it's not just the X-Men story. and this is number three. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Y'all have to go read that story. Y'all just got to go get. Matter of fact, go buy the graphic novel. Actually, I think it's on Amazon. Let me look.
Hey Mac,
Yeah, October 8th and October 9th. Huh?
I got a question.
What you got?
Was this Madeline Pryor or was this Jean Grey that got became the Dark Phoenix?
That became the Dark Jean Grey.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one was Jean Grey.
Yeah,
that was Jean Grey.
yeah.
But I think she ends up in this story at the end though.
She
Madeline,
does.
like I think maybe after Jean, I don't remember the order. I had read it not too long when I was at work, like maybe 5 6 months ago. It's crazy. I was reading on break.
Yeah, she does.
And I
She is in the
think
story. She's
she's in
not
the
the.
I think she comes after like everything happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matter
This
of
was
fact,
I remember the first prints of this storyline and the first print of Phoenix, and it was a great story. It was a great story. It is a great story. Which here I go. Keep talking about the storyline. Why couldn't they do it right when they did the movie?
because
Bro,
they can't do none of the movies right. Like they literally can't.
told me they told me there was this guy that he was a part of the first Blade,
Uh,
and he had a plan to do. I don't remember what his name was. He had a plan to do all of the comics, do it like the movies. They fired him because of something after the first Blade movie. I forgot his name. I'm gonna look it up, and next time we come on here, somebody remind me, and I'll
right.
bring his name up. They say he had
DC
that.
should have hired him
Yeah, that's what they normally do anyway. When one leave, remember the dude that killed off the Hulk and put Incredible Hercules? He's doing Superman comics right now with DC.
Yeah, they need to get it right. They need to get it right. We got all these wonderful storylines. They don't have to do it word for word and blow
Yeah,
for
just keep
blow.
it close. Just yeah, just keep it close to it, man. Um Alexander X said the first live y'all speaking my language. Really, we wasn't speaking your language any other time? Dang, Alex.
Wow, welcome, man. Yeah, I enjoy this, man. I look forward to it. Talking about comics and movies, man. I enjoy it. So welcome.
All right, I'm gonna go to mine now. Um, brightest day, blackest night. Man, now I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. It's gonna cost y'all a little bit of money to get this whole box set right here, but it is worth the read. I promise you. Basically, what ends up happening is a bunch of superheroes die, and a dude named William Henry, who's a minor villain, he's a minor villain. He ends up how you become a Black Lantern is basically you have to commit suicide so that the spirit of Necron could possess you. And what ends up happening is William Hand does that and becomes a Black Lantern. See, I love stories like this where somebody is like a petty villain, but then they end up getting super powered up, and you would never think they would get to that level. So William Hand does that, and basically all the people that passed away, like the superheroes, I say like Aquaman, and they're basically come back zombified. And imagine you happen to compete with them. there's more people dead basically than that's kind of alive. So it's kind of hard for the Green Lantern to do it on their own. So basically, what ends up happening, and I'm not going to give away too much of the story, is the Green Lanterns have to team up with the other lanterns. They have to team up with the Orange Lantern, the Yellow Lanterns, the Blue Lanterns, the Sapphire Lantern, and they basically all have to call the truth and end up working together. I love seeing stuff like that too, where people could be sworn enemies and they swore to destroy, like Sinestro and Atrocitus. They can't stand the Guardians. They want nothing more than to kill them, but because the Black Lanterns is so overwhelming and people are coming back from the dead, and what I mean, they're just being overwhelmed by all of these Black Lanterns. They have to team up. And the only way to really stop it is they have to find a White Lantern. Allegedly, there's a White Lantern on the earth. And that's basically what the story goes into in Brightest Day. They have to look for this White Lantern so that's the White Lantern can stop William Hand and the rest of the Black Lanterns. This is a great, great, great series. One of the best series. That's why I had to put this high. I had to, because the series is so good. It will have you really being like, you remember how I said certain people switch sides and stuff like that? It happens like that too, where a person may have been a Green Lantern and then somebody ends up getting killed and then they end up becoming enraged. So the Red Lantern ring flies on them and now they rocking with the it's just so much that goes on to the it's basically like space gangbang. You know what I mean? That's what it's crazy. This is a real good read. If you haven't read this, if you could afford this to get the box set, you get the box set, as you can see right here, and you get all of the rings. The rings, I know you ain't gonna wear the rings. Just I don't know. I would just say just have them as like a decoration. You know how people have their little stuff in the background and stuff. That's probably what I would do with it, or put it in like a case or something. But yeah, man, it's definitely worth the buy. This is a great storyline. Derek, I'm gonna need you to get on board, brother. I'm gonna need you to read this story. You will not be disappointed. I promise you. Even if you collect them one by one, I promise you, you will be pulled in. Even Matt said a while ago we was talking about this, and I told him how good the story was. He's like, I don't know. I think I might have to read this. This is a great Greenland. Matter of fact, shout out to Jeff Johns because he really brought the Green Lantern back from the dead. I didn't even really like Green Lantern as much as I do now until this story. That's how good this story.
I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, I remember a bunch of lanterns fighting a white lantern. And I don't know if it was this in this storyline. I was just happened to be in the comic book store and I said, oh, this looks interesting. So I brought it and it was this white lantern and he was fighting all the other lanterns. I was like, oh, okay. But I never followed up on it, man. But I I won't be able I won't be able to get this box set.
Nah, that's why I said even if you gotta collect it, I said you stupid. Even if you could collect it one by one, I was saying it's worth. That's why I said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
It's
like a
worth.
good read. I like a good read. This now I'm gonna have to look this up on my favorite comic book store. Shout out to eBay because the
Dang,
local comic book stores don't. They have them, but they don't have them. But
dang, Reed, you bought it
Do you
back. He
ever
said
check the do you ever check the graphic novel section of the comic book stores?
no, I don't. No, I
Check
don't. But
those
I will.
because a lot of times those stores
I will. I will from now on. I will from now on.
Yes, sir. He said, "Dag, the last time he read Green Lanterns when Hal Jordan basically became bad and became Parallax, and now Parallax is an entity, and that's part of the Yellow Lanterns." Uh, yeah, man, they all got different like things that represent them. Like the Red Lanterns got the Butcher, which is a bull. The Green Lanterns have Ion, which is a whale. Uh, Parallax. Uh, the Star Sapphires. It is man. When I tell you it's dope, it's man. This story is dope. Like, and all of the colors represent something different. Like red is rage, yellow is fear, orange is greed. That's why there's only one orange lantern. That's Larfleeze, and like it just makes you become greedy. You just want, it's crazy, man. Like I said, man. Y'all have to read it. It's definitely dope. It's definitely a dope story. Uh, Derek, man.
Yes, sir. Give me Blood Ties. It's X-Men and Avenger crossover. This storyline is great. Oh, I was glad. I was hoping you picked that cover. I was hoping you picked that cover. They they are on Genosha. They're in Genosha, fighting the. Oh, let me set it up. Let me set it up. Okay, Blood Ties is the sequel to Fatal Attraction. Fatal Attraction storyline is when Xavier wiped Magneto's mind. So now Magneto is an invalid, and Colossus is taking care of him. Fabian Cortez rises to power. He snatches power. So what he did, how the Avengers get brought into it, he kidnapped Quicksilver's daughter. So Quicksilver went to Genosha looking for his daughter, which brought in the Avengers. Knowing Quicksilver, he's still a mutant. He got ties to the X-Men. So the X-Men come in. And then all heck break loose. The Avengers and the X-Men are fighting the Acolytes, and they're fighting the mutants who are already in Genosha. This comic came out in 93. Comic book storyline came out in 93. Let me see who wrote it. Writer was Bob uh, no, Harris. Bob Harris. I'm sorry. Can't read my own handwriting. So while Fabian Cortez is mutant, he's a mutant that can recharge mutants' powers, but he can also take the charge away. Besides the acolytes and the mutants who are already in Genosha, there's one Omega level psi that comes into power who is named Exodus. Exodus is he's a problem. His real name is Bonet something Paris. He is in medieval times him and the Black Knight fought Apocalypse. Apocalypse defeated Exodus and entombed him. Magneto freed him. So he started serving Magneto as he looked at Magneto as a messiah. So you got the Avengers, you got the X-Men, you got the Acolytes who were recruited by Magneto, and then you got Exodus who's coming into his own, all in Genosha. The storyline is incredible. Xavier is fighting Exodus. The Avengers and the X-Men are fighting the mutants in Genosha. It really is. it really hits home, man. You know, the storyline. You know, you do anything for family, and at the end, I'm not gonna give it all away, but at the end, Exodus tries to delete Magneto's granddaughter, who is Quicksilver's daughter, and Xavier hit him with the same thing he hit Magneto with, but he was ready for it, but he wasn't ready for the Black Knight. The Black Knight then didn't have his ebony blade; he had something else. This storyline is great. To get really depth, really into it, please read Fatal Attraction and follow that storyline. You'll come across Exodus' first appearance in Marvel Comics, was in Fatal Attraction. Uh, Exodus is a real problem. He's a real problem. I'm surprised again. Marvel has all these characters that they're not even using. Um, Maybe they sold them off and they got them back. They're not using these characters properly. That's my big beef with Marvel in the movies. But this storyline, this is something like Civil War. You know, you got all these factions fighting each other, and you know it's incredible. The storyline is incredible. How they not only defeated Fabian Cortez, but Exodus in the same issue, and how everything is just read the Avengers, Blood Ties, X-Men crossover. Uh, this cover is awesome. It's the best one of them all. It's awesome. Um, Read it. You'll enjoy it. Read all these issues we're asking you, to read. You'll get some great reading. You could get I think it's in graphic novel now. You could get that. I was gonna put the issue where Magneto and Xavier and Wolverine, that's how Wolverine, the same issue Wolverine got his medal pulled out by Magneto, was the same issue Xavier retaliated by wiping Magneto's mind. Uh, that's an incredible read. That's in Fatal Attraction. It'll say right on the cover, Fatal Attraction. And then back then they had little hologram cards. It came with hologram cards on the cover.
You can
Man,
still buy those. You can still buy those. I seen some. I was thinking about
yeah.
getting them. I was thinking about getting some collected.
Oh
Just
yeah, get them, get them, get them,
I don't
get
think I'm
them.
open them.
This is a great read. All these comics we're talking about is great read. The Phoenix Saga is a damn good read, and the Dark Phoenix Saga is even better.
That
Uh,
Phoenix Saga, man, say. I done got to a point, so y'all know I collect actual comics when they came out. But when I want to read them, I buy the graphic novel,
mm,
and it's better. They cost more, like it's most of them are like $19 to $27, but
mhm.
it's definitely worth buying graphic novels.
Yes, you get all the stories, all the issues in the graphic novel. I had Fatal Attraction graphic novel, and I had the Phalanx saga. I had them too, and they're some good read. Try Blood Ties. You won't be disappointed. I wish I had more information to give you, but you can you let your let your mind wander when you read comics, man. But put yourself in the story. Who would you want to be on the cover? Would you want to be Captain America? Would you want to be Cyclops, Rogue, or would you want to be Wanda with her hex power? They call it hex in the comics.
Oh, Mac is
Chaos
gonna tell you.
power.
I think Mac is going to explain to you why you would want Wanda's power in a little bit.
Okay. Well, that's all I got. That's all I got on this one. It's a great read, great issues. This is back when before Marvel was really into making movies. When their storylines in the comics were awesome. I said in the beginning I haven't brought any newer issues in a long time. I like the older issues. The stories are just to me believable.
Yes, sir. Good pick. Good pick.
Damn good pick.
Gotta give you that one. 'Cause I remember that one.
That
Um,
this cover, I love that cover. I love that cover.
and the reason why Tay Tay say false flagging is because the debate I had with Drew Tight. If y'all didn't see the verses, I got the playlist on there. All the verses that y'all missed. Verses got its own
I
playlist.
saw that. I saw that.
Oh yeah, you was there. Yeah, you was
I
there.
was there. I
I
was
was
there.
too. Act made me leave.
Why?
She,
Hmm?
she
Act made me
just
leave.
take this. No matter what you say about Superman, that's her guy. I can understand that, but he was killed. He was killed. He was knocked out, deleted.
Yes, sir.
He ain't super no more. He's even weak. He's even weaker in the newer shows. If you watch the newer shows of Superman, he's weak. He's one level above Batman in strength.
Don't get Tay Tay started. Man, go to your next pick, brother.
You know what my next one is. You know exactly what my next one is.
Hold on.
Because it's probably your next. Is one of them is your next one. So we're gonna start off World War Oh.
Excellent.
I had to fight with myself. Was this gonna be number one or number two? But I made it number two. Uh, and why did you pick that cover?
Yo, it's the only one I could find, man. I was in a rush, man.
Oh, you was I was gonna say man, the very it is what it is. I was gonna say the very first one I found is where he was punching, and the world was the Hulk name. That's the number. That's the first issue. But that's beside the point. World War Hulk. This comic came out in May of 2007, and this was with Greg Pak and John Romita. They were the ones who did. John Romita was actually the illustrator. No, John Romita was the writer, and Greg Pak was the illustrator. This was a continuation of Planet Hope. The Planet Hope, if y'all know, you know
Spider
what?
sense is tingling.
I'm not gonna do Planet Hope, but just know the Illuminati sent Hulk off, and this was him coming back to get his revenge. And his very in this comic, what made this comic so special is that they didn't discriminate against anybody. It was so many um, it was so many appearances in this comic that everybody got a piece.
They even
The
bought Black Bolt in this.
that was I was going to say. The very first person to get beat up was the Inhumans on the moon. He landed on the moon and beat up Black Bolt first, like because Black Bolt was a member of the Illuminati. If y'all didn't know, he had to get it first. He was a member of the Illuminati. Second, he landed on Earth and went straight to X-Men Mansion. Went straight to the mansion and was looking for Xavier. Beat up every X-Man at location and then got into it with the Juggernaut. Him and the Juggernaut was going at it. Like they really tore up Xavier Mansion, and he ended up stopping because he learned about M Day, the M Day event, which is another comic. We might actually get into that if we do another top five comics. We might get into the M Day event, but he learned about the M Day event, so he felt like Xavier was punished enough, so he left. Then, then he went on and went to Manhattan, and he had to fight the Gamma Corps. Whooped everybody in the Gamma Corps, but except one of them. One of them wasn't there for the event. I can't remember the dude's name, a member of the Gamma Corps. He wasn't there. And then he fought Ghost Rider. Now, him and Ghost Rider was actually going at it. Ghost Rider started to get the best of him, but when Ghost Rider looked him in his eye, he didn't see that he was doing anything wrong. And he said, "You haven't done anything where I need to punish you." And Ghost Rider left. Then he went to Stark Tower, and it started going down. See, now I'm gonna stop right there because if I keep going, I'm gonna tell y'all the whole storyline. I'm not gonna do
I, I'll tell y'all this part. He whooped Iron Man's natural born palm.
it.
He
Hey,
pulled
that
out of that busted suit, almost killed him.
Hulk
I
Buster
get,
suit couldn't stop nothing.
I
It
got
didn't
a
even
question.
it didn't even pinch the bit. Didn't even
Would,
pinch him a bit.
Let's go, bub.
I
What
have
you
a
got a
question.
question? What's your question?
Um, what's the difference between War Hawk and World Breaker Hawk? Because I'm trying to get, I want to get what's it. Okay, I know which issue should I start with. Should I start with War Hawk or World Breaker Hawk
You
or
should
I'm
start
gonna
with you should start with
my turn.
Planet.
I'm gonna
Huh?
tell. Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna tell him what to do when it's
I
my
don't, yeah, that's because I don't want to tell you like you gotta wait for this one. You gotta wait for
turn.
that question.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
reason I say you gotta wait for that question is Act got part. This one right here. Me and Act actually got is part one and part two.
Basically,
Yeah. So World War Hulk. I would just say this: World War Hulk is stronger than World Breaker Hulk because
no?
World War Hulk was so mad. He was literally so pissed off that it was nobody on planet Earth that could beat him. Not even Century. Not
now
even
talk about
Century.
only one stronger than that one is probably Breaker of Worlds. That
Yeah.
version,
That
and that's because
and
he
and,
learned.
and that one and Spaceship Hulk
Yeah, yeah,
because Spaceship Hulk actually destroyed a whole planet and he got so powerful that he was emitting so much radiation that he turned Thor into a Hulk.
yeah.
Mm,
So yeah,
So
you got strong.
this is
Yeah,
a good. This is definitely a good read. This was a good pick. I strongly endorse this, and because Mac did his thing on this, I gotta go into mine.
yeah.
Now, just act like this is in reverse. I went first, and Mac went second.
okay.
Planet Hulk. You have to start with Planet Hulk, Derek Gaines. It's just like you remember in the Mass movie where the psychiatrist, Stanley Ipkiss asks the psychiatrist, which one should I go as? Stanley Ipkiss or the Mask? He said, go as Stanley Ipkiss and the Mask. They are one and the same beautiful person. So look, you got to go with this one first, but you have to get World Breaker Hulk 2 because, like Max said, it's basically one and two.
Basically,
Planet Hulk starts off with the Hulk in a fetal like position, just waking up, looking at his clothes ripped and things like that, and he was in Vegas. Now, if anybody's a real Hulk fan, Mac don't answer, Derek Gaines don't answer. What always happens to Bruce Banner when he goes to Vegas? I'll give y'all 2 seconds. He turns into the Gray Hulk. it turns into Joe Fix. So basically, somebody came there, hit him with like a nuke, made him Hulk out. He ended up killing 35 people. Reed explains that to him in the beginning, and he doesn't understand why he's on the shuttle and his clothes are ripped. And basically, Reed lies to him so that he could get on the shuttle and says that you're the only one with the knowledge and resources to take out this threat because he knows about gamma radiation and things like that. And it makes Hulk go upon the shuttle. But as he's doing that, a motorcycle come racing down, which is Amadeus Cho. Amadeus Cho is the Asian version of the Incredible Hulk. He's really smart and things like that. He's been cool with Bruce ever since Bruce saved him. And not only that, they always had anger and impulse issues. So Amadeus Cho always felt the connection to Bruce. So he tries to tell him, like, yo, Banner, you need to get off that shuttle. They're lying to you. You need to halt the heck out. You know what I mean? Fast. And then because the whatever comm they're broadcasting on, he could hear Amadeus telling Bruce to Hulk out, Reed and the rest of the Illuminati. Uh, Reed just tells him the truth. Like, yo, time and time again, your rage, is the reason why you're always in this predicament and stuff like that. We're going to send you on a planet where there's nobody there that you could hurt, plenty of food and things like that for you. And basically, Banner, he tries not to turn into the Hulk, but he ends up hulking out because he's so mad. And then the Hulk, you know what I mean? So as the ship is taking off, the Hulk breaks it and it ends up going not where they planned to send Bruce to. He ends up going to this different world, like this war world type of planet. And he ends up in these gladiatorial games with this disc on. Not only that, when he went to that planet takes whatever powers that you have and decreases them substantially, like very bad. Like normally the Hulk would have ran that planet in 2 seconds, but he wasn't at full strength when he went to that planet. So that's why the obedience disc got on him, and he ended up in these gladiatorial games. He ends up seeing Silver Surfer there, and man, I really want to. I could really tell y'all the whole story. I love this story, but I got the audio book. It is too. I don't just got the book. I got the audio book too, where you got the voice actors on here too. That's how good this story was to me. And I always listen to it while I'm cleaning the house. You know,
So this was nothing like the movie, the cartoon that came out.
but you see how they had Beta Ray Bill?
Yeah.
That was Silver Surfer. So they lied to you, brother. You see how
Mm,
he had to fight Beta Ray Bill?
yeah.
That was Silver Surfer in the comic. The
I better
real
get this.
Silver Surfer is he ends up fighting.
There was an issue of Incredible Hulk after Onslaught. Uh, Bruce Banner, he left the Hulk. So you had the Hulk on one side in the Pocket Universe that I'm sorry, that Bruce Banner was in Pocket Universe that Franklin Richard uh, created, and the Hulk was just hawking out everywhere. I wonder how come they didn't do Planet Hulk then.
What they should have did was Mark Ruffalo was campaigning to get his own solo movie, and they never did it.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Right now, they are working on developing a movie for World War Hulk, so he might get one.
It better not be the Hulk that was in She-Hulk. Oh my goodness.
'Twenty-five million
$25
I didn't
million.
even watch She-Hulk because even in the
I do
comics,
know
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even like She-Hulk in the comics.
Spider sense is tingling.
the only reason I read She-Hulk because she was part of Avengers and Heroes for Hire. So if she was in the issue of the Avengers or Heroes from Hire, yeah, I will read it. But as far as I don't even think she had her own standalone comics. I don't know.
No, she did. She
Nah, she
did.
did. She did. She ended
She
up
had a
going.
few of them.
She ended up messing with Tony. I remember Tony Stark.
Yeah, it just that She-Hulk show was garbage. It was garbage.
Twenty
That
five
was
She-Hulk was
straight
dollars an episode. One of the most expensive shows ever. 25.
just because it costs a lot don't mean it was any good.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with
Right.
She-Hulk was garbage, to be honest with you, because I'm gonna tell y'all. I put She-Hulk kind of in the same category I do Superman. No offense, Tay Tay.
you. Uh-oh, Tay Tay. Hopefully she went to bed.
I hope so, but I look at it like this: that Bruce Banner knew his powers. He knew his blood was tainted. He knew all of that. The creation of She-Hulk was so stupid.
What, blood transfusion?
Yeah, and then she
Yeah.
wasn't even close to being as powerful as him. She was weak. She was the weak version of a Hulk. She is literally out of every Hulk, she is the weakest.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, it was cool to see her and stuff like that. And I always liked how they drew her. Really only Alex Ross, whenever Alex Ross drew. But yeah, I wasn't big on, but
You know the show was in trouble when they had Megan Thee Stallion on there twerking.
No, they just try. What they trying to do with that is not that it was in trouble. They just trying to feed into this new generation. They- but I
Yeah,
hope
she
they
was
don't do that with this. If they do with the World War Hulk that they're developing. And you know what's crazy? We didn't talk about this, but I do got to bring this up because we didn't even mention that. You didn't mention the people that helped him take over in Planet Hulk, and I didn't
oh,
mention them the
you
people
talking
that came with him. I'm
Kyra
talking
the Strong and uh,
Warbound and Meek
me, and
Coffee and Brew,
yeah,
Hiram, and and Mug. We didn't
uh,
talk about none of them, but those are I just mentioned their names. They just characters it was a kind of part of his inner circle on Planet Hulk and when he came to Earth.
yeah, and Red King. The Red King runs the planet. I mean, I wasn't trying to give him all. I wasn't trying to give him everything. We
Well,
really
the reason I mention them is not to give them everything, but it's to give them something to look forward to. Like who are these people that's gonna be with him? That's gonna make this
yeah, these
even
are
more
the
interesting.
people that was in the gladiatorial uh,
Yeah,
games with him. That's how he ended up uh, being, making it out because he wasn't at max strength. Because when he went through that portal, he lost his strength.
yeah.
So yeah, those people that Mac mentioned, I guess he's right. It was important to mention because those are the people that basically on this team, and they basically got to fight for their freedom. That's supposedly the case. They're supposed to fight for their freedom.
Fact.
But Derek, let's go. We almost had 2 hours.
Wolverine 100. I want to see what cover you pick.
I mean, I just went off of what I. I'll be honest, what I seen, bro.
That's cool.
Uh,
Yeah, I had this one, but there's also another. There are like several different ones of this. I have one with it's all like chrome. The whole cover is chrome. Um, let's set the stage real quick. This came out in 19. Wait a minute. Sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. Give me a second, fellas. Sorry. I'm not on the same page. My mind is on one page, but my page is not in front of me. Okay, this was written by Larry um, Hama, and it came out in January 1, 2000. Wolverine rejects the antimanium bonding process. He is kidnapped by Genesis, who is Cable's son, Tyler, and he inspires to be the heir of Apocalypse. And he takes the antimanium or metal out of Cyber and tries to put it in Wolverine. Wolverine rejects it. They turn the volume up. Wolverine, Cannonball was there, and another character who was there. I can't remember her name. And Cannonball, Sam Gather, he jumps in, tried to stop it, and all hell broke loose after that. Um, Cannonball got jumped by Genesis Dark Riders, which caused Wolverine to like reject it on every level, the metal on every level, and he went into full beast mode. He quickly dispatches the Dark Riders and with veracity, he did them in. They really didn't show him until like towards the middle of the comic when it showed what Wolverine looked like, and his claws were bone. His man, he looked. They they did a good job on this, and he quickly dispatches Genesis, and you can hear him. He say, "Tell Cable I'm sorry about his kid, but he left me no choice." So Wolverine goes off to do whatever he did in Wolverine 101. This is a great issue. Again, every 25th issue, I think, or issues you want to buy the 50th and it's 75 and 100. You'll get stuff like this.
Yes,
Hold
sir.
on.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's go, bub.
Um, Mac, anything on this?
I do remember that storyline, but it's not even. It's not one of my favorite Wolverines. I have a few Wolverine storylines
I
that I
actually
really
like the
enjoy.
one from 2007.
Which one is that? The one where him and Dakin fought?
No, that's the one where Wolverine starts finding out about his origin, about
Oh
uh
yeah, yeah.
he ends up killing Sabretooth at the end of it, finally killing
I
Saber.
actually,
More
you
on
know
my
what's crazy is that almost made my list.
that, and then Romulus is the main bad guy. He finds out that he's part of this pack called the Lupine. That's what Wolverine's him and Sabretooth and Wildcat.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, man, this sound like a good read. I might have to try to pull this one. You say, yeah, bone claws for metal. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
After
Oh, let's go,
Magneto,
bub.
excuse me. after Magneto pulled the metal out, like yeah, he discovered that his bones, his claws were bone. Um, but this issue 100, I always like Wolverine because he was the guy. He
Yeah,
was the guy.
yeah. Wolverine and I think out of Marvel, Wolverine and the Hulk. Those both my guys when it
When
comes to that.
Wolverine did the dirty work that the rest of the X Men didn't want to do, except for Gambit. Gambit,
Yeah,
he put in work,
yeah, because his background.
right?
But but shoot, Mac, let's go to your last.
Okay, so this is an Avenger story, but it's X-Men based, which is crazy because this is a continuation off of Avengers Disassemble, also Planet X. This is the House of M's. It's literally just the House of M's.
I
They
like.
didn't, huh?
I said I like that cover.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. And if y'all know anything, they didn't make this an X-Men comic. They didn't make this an Avengers comic. They didn't make this an X-Men and an Avengers comic. This is just literally a comic storyline. The House of M's. It's it's a great comic. That's all I'm gonna say. This didn't even take place on Earth 616. Just for anybody that want to know or plan on reading this. This took place on Earth 58163. This is a storyline based around the Scarlet Witch,
Yes,
Magneto,
yes.
and her twin brother who is Quicksilver. This is Magneto's kids. The storyline is based where Scarlet Witch changes the entire reality of the Earth.
She
And
she freaking had them dreaming of their best life.
yes,
Basically, most of them anyway. And the
most of
only one
the
that realizes fate,
was Wolverine.
Wolverine, just like a storyline that with Rom that Derek brought up earlier. Wolverine is the only one that realizes that it's fake.
Yes, He's the only person that realized it was fake. He had to go through and try to. He was trying to find members of the Avengers and superheroes that he knew. It was also he was finding mutants. He was finding heroes that's not even a part of Avengers or X Men to help him out. It was actually a few of mutants that was underground that knew it wasn't real that he found later that helped him out. And I think Cap. No, Cap wasn't. He ended up waking Cap up, and Cap started helping him. But
And
in the
I
story,
and Charles was missing.
yeah, Charles was missing. They could not find Charles at all. They had a grave for Charles, but he wasn't in the grave. Uh, when they woke everybody up, when they finally woke everybody up, Scarlet Witch did something that took every mutant power, every mutant.
Yeah, because Magneto ends up killing her twin brother, Pietro.
Quicksilver. Yeah, the agent. No, Quicksilver.
Yeah, Quicksilver. Yeah,
Yeah,
Pietro Maxim.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it made her mad, so she took everybody's power. Yeah, so
It was
I'm gonna
only like
stop right. Huh?
198 mutants that existed. Before that, it was like hundreds of thousands, hundreds,
Yes.
about millions of mutants. But after the House of M event, you could barely find any of the
Any of
mutants.
the mutants, and it's crazy because in this world, it you know what? I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because y'all need to, y'all, if
This
you,
is
this is a good read. This is a damn good read. It's gonna take you a little while to get through, but it's a good read.
yeah. This is the one I keep telling D Man. I mean not D Man, but Eric Derek Gaines. He need to go read. I done told him multiple times. This is probably Marvel's to me. This is just me and me only. This is Marvel's greatest storyline. I think because the way it wasn't like a superhero based story. They lit because Scarlet Witch has her own comic books. Magneto has his own comics. X Men have their own comics. Wolverine, like everybody have their own comics, but he didn't make it like that. It was like they wrote this and just made it a great story. Like it was based around the Scarlet Witch, but she was the protagonist. She wasn't the hero in this story. Neither was Magneto. They were the protagonists, but it's based around them, and it was also based around the event of Avengers Disassemble, where like in the story that they had that Act talked about with them making superheroes in the Civil War, where they were making superheroes register, they was making mutants register in Avengers Disassemble, and this was a part of that storyline. So if y'all go back and read this, I promise you, you will not be disappointed whatsoever. This is to me the greatest storyline that Marvel that made. And if you watch the movie Doctor Strange, the last one, this was they kind of based a lot of that. They took a lot of House of M's and
Yeah,
made that storyline,
yeah,
made that movie.
yes.
Just like um, Ragnarok. They took a lot of Planet Hope and made Ragnarok. A lot of matter of fact, a lot of these Marvel movies they take pieces of certain comic book stories. I can tell you more, but I'm not.
Even in
But
that Wanda and Vision show, they took some of
the,
that because
the,
that was
the,
what she her dream.
yeah,
Her and Vision finally had kids and things like I said, we be here all day talking about this. We be here all day.
yeah. We could
It's
literally do a whole show on the House of M's. If you want to start breaking some of these comics down, I'm down. But yeah, we could, man. Yeah, we can do that.
sure. Good read. Good pick. Not mad that this was your number one. Smart pick. Now I'm gonna go to my last. Mac already know he couldn't get this one. And Tay Tay, if you somewhere out there, this one's for you. We dedicate this pick to you, Tay Tay. Batman, The Long Halloween. One of the no, this is the best, in my opinion, Batman story ever. Batman is looking for a killer calling himself Holiday that kills on holidays. The only other bad guy that normally would kill on holidays or things like that is the calendar man, Julian Day. But Julian Day is incarcerated right now. So, Batman got to try to figure out who is the person doing all these killings. And him, Jim Gordon, and Harvey Dent all team up. This is before Harvey becomes Two Face, and it is a great story. It takes you for a lot of different plot twists in this story. Uh, this is an earlier version of Batman, like when he kind of first started. So he makes a lot of mistakes in this one and things like that. Uh, it has a lot of different villains in it. The Joker, Poison Ivy, uh, Two Face, Catwoman is in it. I love whoever did the writing for this. I think is was it Jeff Loeb and Tim Sales. They did a great job collaborating. Yeah. Um, I think they need to bring this to an audio drama too. I would love to see it in audio. There was people that did it like on their own, and they did a great job. But I just would like to see the audio book just like officially come out because there was a period where they were doing that with Marvel and DC with stories, and they would have like voice actors and things with it, not just one person narrating and reading the book, but they had like a bunch of different actors. And I kind of wish they wouldn't have stopped. They should have kept that going. They did a great. They did a really great job with this one, Batman: The Long Halloween. I don't want to give the story away because this is the type of story. If you keep talking about it, you'll give away a lot of things. So, yeah, Batman. He just basically has to try to figure out who this holiday killer is, and you spend the whole book thinking that it's one way, and then it ends up being another day, and then you go through all the different holidays, even ones that are not major. It starts from Halloween all the way up until like late. We go to Labor Day, St. Patrick's, like all different days, and each time the holiday killer on these different holidays, they stuff behind Halloween, left like a jack o' lantern after he killed somebody. Um, April Fool's was the only holiday and ended up killing somebody. So it's it is definitely a dope read, and this is my favorite Batman story. To me, the best. They actually say it's one of the best Batman stories. This book came out 95, 96. It's a great read. I gave this as a gift to my brother. Stay ready. We were supposed to cover this and break this down. I'm pretty sure Mac read it because he said he wanted this to be on his list, and I'm not
Yeah.
mad at him. And he knows one of my favorite Batman bad guys is one of the main antagonists in this. Um, Harvey Dent. I'm gonna just say that. It actually explains the whole situation of how Harvey got his coin and how everything happened.
I actually, I think we should do it. It
Well,
is
I,
coming up. It is coming up on Halloween. Probably not next week, but this probably can be one of the next few videos that we do. Prepare
yes,
ourselves. I'm gonna read it again.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Really good story. Really good Batman story.
Matter of fact, hey, let's. This is gonna be the Halloween week. Let's do this Halloween week.
Okay. If everything is everything, God willing,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a Halloween special. Hopefully, you know what, Derek? I know how I'm going to get you to read it. I'm gonna send you uh
The
this
audio book.
drama. It follows the whole book, and I'll
Okay,
send it to you so that you know the story and you're able to uh, be in the loop. So come on the show.
okay. Looking forward to it.
Tay Tay, I knew you would come in soon as I did a Batman comic. I knew that would get your attention.
Tay Tay was out doing whatever, and she heard Batman. She, hey, what? We're talking about?
Spider
She,
sense is tingling.
I know. Tay Tay, man. I don't know. You know what? I think Tay Tay got a secret crush on Bruce Wayne. That
Yo, Tay Tay had a Batman shirt on. I have yet to see Tay Tay with a Superman t-shirt on, but she had that Batman t-shirt on. She gonna be like, "Oh, it was years ago." He still had a Batman
he
shirt.
still had a Batman shirt on. Once you buy the merchandise, you are a forever fan.
It's
Well,
highly
let's
talk about Superman. I ain't seen not a Superman shirt. Near not.
because Superman, it's the card. Batman has the cards. It's the card. What Michael Keaton Batman say? It's the card. Chicks dig the card.
Yeah, word. Yeah, but um,
Superman is not handsome. Which makes Superman handsome? His little curly hair in the front is looking like Menudo or something. With a lot of gel in his hair, you know. But yeah, let's get on with my last one. I think this is this. I'm gonna give you this idea. If they would have did the story, they should not have killed Thanos. They shouldn't have killed him off. They shouldn't have killed him off. Uh, if they would have kept Thanos in the 616 storyline, this Thor 4 Love and Thunder would not have happened. This, I believe, would happen. This is awesome. This is Thor Volume 2, issue 25. It came out in May of year 2000, and then it came out again in July 2000. This is called The Final Morning. Okay, check this. Thanos is defeated. In the comics, he had the Infinity Gauntlet and everything. He's defeated, right? So he goes on another quest to find three objects. It's the designate, the map to all ending, and the illumination stone. He again in the comics is courting the Lady Death. So he gets all these three items and he starts wiping out planet by planet by planet. Thor is fighting him and Mogod, or is it Mongog? And they have the Fire Lord in this issue, um, fighting on Thor's side, the former herald Galactus. So he's getting mocked. He's getting handed it to him. And Odin calls Fire Lord to Asgard and gives him the gauntlet, the breastplate, and the shield, and the thing around his leg. What he empowered it with the Odin Force. Sent Fire Lord, who could travel just like the Silver Surfer, back to this ice planet, and Thor starts mopping the floor with Thanos and Mogad. Um, this is a great issue. If they would have did this issue at least close to it, Thor: Love and Thunder would not have happened. Uh, Marvels wouldn't have happened. If it would have happened, it wouldn't have been like this. Secret Wars it was hit or miss. All because of when they, I believe, when they killed Thanos, they took out a main antagonist. This guy, they shouldn't have did that. They shouldn't have did it at the time. Yeah, okay, yeah, they got rid of Thanos, but when they got rid of Thanos, he wasn't no threat. He wasn't no threat. So if they would have kept Thanos in the MCU, he would have continued to court the Lady Death and continue to find ways of mass destruction, so to speak. The Infinity Stones, he could wipe out existence, but with the other things, he had to do it planet by planet. So Thor was, like I said, Thor was stopping him, but he was getting whooped. There was another person there. He was recording the events, and in the end, Thor won. But I think that once they killed Thanos, the MCU went downhill as far as the movies, as far as the shows. Moon Knight was horrible. She-Hulk was horrible. The Marvels movie was horrible. I can't believe they made that movie. Thor: Love and Thunder was horrible. I'm like, they and now they bringing back Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. to be Doctor Doom. I wonder how that's gonna play off if he takes his mask off in front of.
Man, I already told you. If anybody else could do it, he can do it.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm not saying he can't do it. I he's a phenomenal actor, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know. That's another show. But this storyline is a must read. It has everything. It's full of actions. Let's see, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 is the build up. Remember, I said every 25th issue something happens, and this one he beats the crap out of Thanos. He beats the crap out of him. So check this storyline out. You'll enjoy it, and that's all I got on here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great, great build guys when it came to the comics. Everybody, you should definitely check out the comics that we selected, even if you can't get all of them. Um, Looking forward to next week, God willing. And Matt, get a peep of your last, bro. Mac, you there? All right, Derek, get a peep
I
of your
was
last.
talking like I'm on mute. Man, shout out to everybody that came through. This was a great deal. This was a great show. This was a great topic. Y'all know this shows how much we enjoy comics. Um, I actually want to do this again. I want to do 6 to 10, and we already. I do. It ain't got to be the next week, but I do want to do it again. Um, we do got a lot of verses coming up for y'all too. We have a lot, and
Yeah,
more.
Mac,
I
Mac.
sent X some more yesterday.
I don't know. Did I get them?
Yeah, check your phone. Yeah, I sent them.
Nah, I ain't get them. Only the last one I got was Magneto versus Green Lantern, Namor versus Aquaman.
Yeah, them were the two I sent you
Oh,
yesterday.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And Derek Gaines, get a peep of your last.
I appreciate everybody coming through and supporting my brother Ed. And like, share, subscribe, donate it. The Lord willing. We enjoy talking about comics, movies. Um, you see, we do our background work to give you um, something you could chew on. You got a lot. You got a lot. I appreciate Harmonize, Eric Jordan, Kofa, even Tay Tay. I appreciate all y'all. Pooh Man 313, D-Man Jr. I appreciate y'all for coming and always supporting and just kicking it with us as I'll be 55 in December and I'm still reading comics because I love the adventure. I love where my mind goes. But anyway, thank God. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you.
And I definitely appreciate it. Salute to everybody that came through. Um, Appreciate that. I always have fun talking comics with the brothers or whatever we doing, whether it's a verse or whatever. That's the main basis of this channel. We just like to uh, cut into our hobbies and have fun and talk about it. We'll be back next week with another one. Salute everybody. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Y'all stayed in here. Y'all was definitely conversating in this one. We will be back. I'm not sure yet what we gonna do, but we'll be back to give y'all something. And appreciate y'all, man. And like, share, subscribe, donate, whatever you want to do. We appreciate it. And make sure if you didn't get to catch the whole thing, go back and run back the replay and get help with the algorithms, like my brother Mac used to say when he used to go live. So salute everybody. We'll be back next week. and peace.